Happy holidays. I am spending the holidays alone. Um, yeah, my birthday was recent and I had to spend it alone. I realized, actually, two friends took me out the week after. They were busy that day, but that was really nice. So I didn't, I technically spent birthday alone, but it was celebrated. But I'm spending the holidays alone. I realize that people don't want to see me um because I sent out an invite to invite people over to my apartment um because I'm planning to leave the country soon and to meet them for the last time and for me to give away some of the stuff that I ended up donating or throwing away, and I'm doing more and more. I need to leave with just a bag and maybe two boxes or however much. Yeah, either I ship it or I bring it to the. But anyways, I was I started. Yeah, so I was today too. I have a day off on the day before Christmas, and I spent it working out and doing housework and yeah, just finding things to throw away and looking through notebooks. I still haven't gone through all of them, but yes, I want for yeah, like I have half a stack of notebooks left. Um, and I'm been compiling it, and hopefully I can leave. Like that can be just two notebooks, and then these. I decided not to write a book or books. There's more for me to be done than to write books. So before I go on, yes. As of now, I know my performance career is just about over. I'm starting to lose more of the facility of one of my legs, and doctors in the United States are just basically fuck you, neurologists and sports medicine therapists and general practitioners. And so that's that. But I was told many times that I should write a book about the experiences of my life. Going through my notebooks and the amount of pain I have in my hands and my upper body, upper back mostly, more than my arms. Um, I don't think so. Um, so my plan is to do these uploads um in October. During in October I couldn't do much because it just hurts so much to draw. And it's yes, my hands and my upper back stuff because I have spine damage and nerves. So I like to make comics about experiences I had that um I can't with uploads. I do these uploads. I they're very, very low production. I do it like this because I have time to edit and whatnot. I'm not doing this to monetize. I'm doing it to get out there. I'm against child sex trafficking because I'm a survivor. I'm against beating up children because I'm a survivor. And most of you who listen know that I have spinal injuries from the 1970s. I'm 55 years old now, and that's caused by my parents torturing me, throwing me downstairs, throwing me into walls, not episodically, but on a regular basis. And though the doctors won't acknowledge my, except for that I have scoliosis and I have herniated discs and I have this and that, bulging discs, I think. Um, they don't acknowledge that I have serious injuries, but an acupuncturist who diagnosed that I have the impact injuries of several car accidents. But it was done to me by humans who were twice my size, three times my size when it started. So that's why my arms hurt. My hands sometimes hurt or they don't work. And so I don't think writing, like typing or using a pencil to write books is a good idea. So I do these uploads. And then I want to do like comics. Um, Suehiro Ueno has in the 60s and 70s, I think, drew these comics that are about children with I don't think they're biographical, but they're comics of children with horrible, horrible lives. And the genre of this kind of comics is called eroguro, erotic and grotesque. And to I like to make a comic with my life experience, but not it it's it's grotesque, but the erotic part of it, I want to show that um, child abuse is not sexy and erotic. Um, I guess it is for some people, but I want to make comics that are grotesque based on lived experience, but switch the mentality a little, um, because I don't think it's sexy to abuse small children, to abuse small girls physically, um, violently and sexually. And I really like Suehiro Ueno's drawings, but I think it's really gross that people get off on them and find them erotic. But yes, I was sexually abused as a child and also chemically abused and I guess cranially abused. Um, like after after my parents would pick me up um from sites of abuse, they would hit me in the head with something blunt and heavy, like the side of an axe. So I'd pass out and forget like the men who paid them to abuse me, forget hotel rooms and motel rooms. Um, it was disgusting. I get in trouble for vomiting in the car after this happened and whatnot. And yeah, like my sister she's a golden child and she's younger. She's like telling me how she went to a restaurant and ate a sundae. Yeah, I didn't get to eat sundaes or go to Friendlies or have like kids meal specials or anything like that. So yeah, they took. I don't know if even that the money that they took from these middle-aged men to abuse me, um, paid enough for two adults' meals and a child's meal. But yeah, that's how it was. But so, anyways, that's why I'm not gonna write a book. I'm going through my notebooks. I'm trying to compile the poetry stuff that I wrote. I'm not gonna write essays. I'm just gonna do YouTube. I know I have a small audience, but again, I'm not doing it to be popular. I'm absolutely incognito, and I'm not doing it to monetize. I know I have a small audience, but I know just the few views that I get, if one or two people can change their minds about maybe buying sex from a child or from a parent who's selling their child, or if a teacher or a social worker um, intervenes and they see a child who's all bruised up or who must be in a concussion but still forced to go to school, or a child is wearing the same clothes every day. So yeah, like something like that. I bathed, but I wore the same two outfits in rotation. Yeah, and clean clothes like only once a week, and I washed it by hand in a bathtub with octagon soap, um, on a washing board. Even and then everybody else would wash his clothes. Well, actually, I had to wash my sister's clothes too, but my parents' clothes were washed in the laundromat, shit like that. Um, but like, if one person listens to my uploads and notices something is wrong with a kid and gets help, um, that or takes in a kid or confronts the parent or even calls immigration on illegal aliens, illegal migrants who are abusing their child, send them home. Because really, my parents got away with this because there was nobody to keep him in check, and they were getting money from their parents in Japan, mailed to them. So that's why they had nothing to do all day except for focus on how I ruined their lives by being born and then making up shit like, because I'm not an ideal child, they can't be famous artists and shit like that. Um, there's there's an upload. I think it was a live. It's called How Not to Be an Artist. Um, I think I think it was put up this month, December 2025. I'm sorry. Yes, this is labor for me. This is like empowering children. I want to empower children and empower adults to help children who are in need and who are in danger and who are injured or who are um, badly damaged. But also I don't keep really close. I'm not as um on it, in terms of like knowing when I did what and look going back and reviewing and stuff like that because I do it, I get it out there. When I was a choreographer, I was pretty I don't want to say the word anal, but I was pretty strict on myself to keep schedules and schedule rehearsals and progress and assess what's going on. But with this stuff, it's just it's close to home. But I would say most of the times when this was happening, there wasn't a home. Um, and so it's close to I want to say close to heart, but my heart rejects this stuff. I'm like I said, you know, I it's locked up, and then sometimes parts of it come out, and then I don't think about it all day, so I don't ruminate in this stuff. Um, yeah, and like right now, I'm in this really weird zone. I'm not. I don't know. I don't think I'm hyper vigilant, but I'm partly like closed off, and I'm partly depersonalized. So this is the page I said about narcissists. There'll be more of this because this came from one of my inspired about the books, probably like pre 2009. pre-COVID, based on the notebook and the cover. Um, and there's another notebook that's just narcissistic shit. But I want to put this up. So, the things that abusive narcissists do. Okay, one tried to give me HIV. I had a boyfriend. He lied. He didn't tell me about it. We were having sex with a condom because I didn't want to get pregnant. But then after he knew, he told me he wanted me to give him oral sex without a condom. And he would say, if you suck my dick without a condom, you wouldn't like it. And like it would be like sucking on this. And he puts a bottle of methadone on the dresser. Like sucking my dick with a condom is like sucking this orange prescription bottle. And I told him I don't like sucking cock. And he called me a fucking nun. So that's one thing. Um, the second on this page is, oh yeah, like, I guess this is an argument, and this isn't, it's him, the one who wanted to give me HIV, but, it's not just him. Just like other people, other exes, and my parents. I don't know. Oh yeah, so like in an argument, I guess like I would bring something up and then they will say, I don't know, I didn't listen to you. You know, and he talked about the same thing all the time and gets upset when I said you already told me. So yeah, like you probably have had it because this is several people. Um, they'll tell a joke, the same old joke, so many times, and then get really like they get so hurt if like the fifth time you tell them that they already heard it. You know, like I heard that before. They get so upset, and that sometimes it escalates into defensiveness and verbal abuse. Oh, this is what my mother told me. This is about education. She didn't get into art school in Japan. She wanted me to go to Harvard on a free ride. So she and my father didn't have to work and I'd support them. Um, and then when bring up that they didn't even get into any college, I was told, you have to do better than me. It's evolution. And this one I also heard before, that it's evolution. So the abused child has to do better than the parent. Okay, another thing my mother said. I know you want to kill me. I can read your mind. You can't think something without being found out. Oh, you can't think something without being found out. So my mother said, I know you want to kill me. I can read your mind. You can't think something without being found out. And this is when I was really, really small. And yeah, after the kind of physical abuse and the verbal abuse, craziness. I mean, my world was not like most, like the kids in my class or anybody outside on the block. Um, but yeah, I wanted my mother to die. I wanted my father to die because they told me that it's normal. They told me like if you're not getting beaten up, the parent doesn't like the children. But I knew it was a lie, even as a child, and even if I didn't know any better. And the only touch I got was violence and sexual abuse. You know. So I still knew that something was wrong. And And so, I did want them to die. Um, oh, okay. And this is not my parents. This so-called activist who thinks it's okay to rape women in the struggle. In the struggle meaning whatever movement they're fighting for. Yeah, if they're fighting, and I'm not saying all activists are are narcissists, but some narcissists go into these activist spaces to harm people, but say it's part of the fight. Oh, and this is a an art modeling. So there's this person who lived in one of these collective houses that I lived in, that I rented a room in. So this one is like, this person, she needed to work. She has very little work experience. And so like I said, why don't you work as an art model? They don't look at a resume, you just have to be still. They're like, I can't take off my clothes. And then I suggested waiting on tables. You can start out busing. I mean, you don't even, when I first waitress, I didn't even have to be a bus person. I just had to shadow a waitress and bus tables, and I learned in a few days. But when I suggested waiting tables, I can't work with food. I'm a klutz. So basically, like saying they're they're basically saying that they could they have they're they're saying that poor people should take these jobs, and people who are more advantaged, more privileged can get away with making excuses and not putting in any effort. What's really fucked up about this person is this person who can't take off clothes, they're like one of those hypersexualization, pro sex work. Um, yeah, I am a radical feminist. I know it's not cool to be one, but as somebody who has been exploited for sex and have seen people really get their lives messed up by dabbling in sex work, and also um, being a slut. I know there's a book out there called The Ethical Slut, and a lot of people live by it, but I've seen a lot of jealousy and a lot of competition and insecurity, and people mistreating each other, sex partners. Like, so, yeah, that's really crazy that they can't take off their clothes to make a living. Um, but they're like, they think that other people should have. I just, it's crazy shit. Oh, and I wrote whooping thing. So I didn't write down what happened, but it's the same person who thinks it's okay that if you're like raped in an activist space or doing work, trying to change the world, or being in a community of people, it's okay. But this is a woman. Yeah, she's very advantaged and very privileged, but she decided to go woofing on a vacation from a school. vacation. I think she was doing like postgraduate work on a fellowship. So she took a vacation, she went woofing, and the farm that she went to, they had women's and men's quarters, but I guess they were full of permanent people. So she had to stay in an Airstream with a man who was in the same situation, like doing like a 2 week thing. And supposedly he was being like creepy. So she ran away from the farm. She said she canoed away, but I don't believe it. Maybe she got scared or um she got triggered. I'm sorry. Again, like my mind is somewhere else. I'm kind of depersonalized. So she tried, I think she rode a canoe and then got an Uber or got the farm owner to drive her to a station or whatever. But she called. This was around 2017. She told me this. She's like in a socialist group, and she calls herself a radical, and if you're a socialist, it's very narcissistic if you're saying it's okay to get raped, but if there's a guy who's creeping on you who hasn't raped you but isn't creeping on you, and like that's not okay, but it's okay to rape or creep on um people who are of lower status than you, lower echelon in the social ladder than you, born into less economic status than you. It's okay for them to get raped. I think that's really messed up. So sorry, this has been going on. So it's 27:49. I meant this to be a 5-minute video. I'll put in the description when to start watching, just the narcissist part. That I also put in the description. If you'd like to donate, please donate. But more than donate, please comment. And please comment if um if you've gone through stuff like this, if you have exes or you are in a relationship now with creepy people, or you have parents who think evolution means that you you have to be better than them, even if they gave you a brutal life or any of it. Yeah, actually, I am pretty triggered. So I will end it. But happy holidays to you all. Um, and yeah, I'm just gonna be doing this, writing, and maybe finding things to upload. Um, I'm alone. I think I'm gonna meet friends next week. Or maybe this weekend. But no, I'm eating normal. I don't. I'm not having a Christmas dinner. I'm not drinking. Acupuncturist told me not to, so yeah, I haven't really drank since 2023, except for at at parties once in a while, but I'm alone, so I'm not even drinking, even if, I could, doing this. And maybe I'll try drawing, I don't know. Maybe I'll watch something on YouTube or on Amazon Prime. Yes, I know Amazon is the devil, but I don't have a TV. I don't have Netflix or anything like that. I don't have a Roku. I just have a laptop. So happy holidays and stay warm if you're in a cold place. Stay safe if you're in danger. And if you are a gatekeeper, a person who can help, especially if you're getting paid to help people, please help people if they are in danger, if they're injured and gonna be more injured. And if you see somebody in a narcissistic situation and they can't get out, please help them. Okay. Good night. Merry Christmas.